Okay, here is the solar cooker we're making. We just, before we put this on, we put the wood sealer on because we didn't want to have to do it with this already installed. What we did is we have a 1/4-inch piece of plywood, and we cut it out to the dimensions. I think this is 26 going across and 22 the short way here. And I'll explain why it's angled on the side like that here in just a second. But in the meantime, we have these 4 pieces of 2x4 on the top and another 4 along the bottom to anchor, really get a nice strong feel in the corner here, because I mean we got this all sealed with wood glue and a few little 1-inch wood screws, but we wanted something really solid. So also I put wood sealer on here before we put the handle on because I didn't want to have to leave a spot not sealed. Because this is going to be a nice big solid unit, we wanted the handle to be nice and a real solid connection here. So we use bolts with a 1x3. We really tightened it down with washers on the other side of this and on the other side here. So we've got it as stable as we can get it. John picked it up and dropped it on the floor here last night, and this thing's like a rock. So last night also I came yeah, I went around with some extra brown cedar colored caulking that we had, and I just sealed it all up because you're going to want this to be airtight. One of the reasons also we have these corners in here is because we are going to want this elevated slightly, because we're going to have insulation all the way around the sides and on the bottom, but you're going to want the inner box to have an air cushion underneath it as well to trap the heat. So we'll get on to that next. But anyway, this is what the box is looking like so far. The reason why it's angled is because we live quite north in the U.S. here, so our sun is never directly overhead. And if you live like in South America or in some of these equatorial countries, most of these solar cookers are popular, and they're flat and they work great. But because we're so far north of the equator, our sun is never overhead. So some of the models that we saw online in our research, they're angled to allow the sun to get into them better. Our sun is never directly overhead. It's at an angle. So we have our box angled to add to the sunlight to it. So that's the first step. And then over here, I'll just bring it over here and show you. We're going to get all this insulation in here. We've got just a standard thing of 16-inch insulation, household insulation that we bought, which will work fine. Just be careful if you try to do something like this and use that. You wear appropriate covering, bad debris, that stuff. Anyway, so this is going to end up sitting here, this inner box, about, probably about 1 inch off those blocks down there. So that's what that's going to look like. Now what this is this was a banana box that I cut down, angled on the sides. And the metal that I have here actually came, let me see if I can find it real quick. It came out of a drawer I found at a yard sale, just sitting there broken. And it was it's like a fancy office file cabinet, and it was lined with this aluminum. And I thought, wow, that would work out really good. So I took the aluminum out of the drawer, and I bent it to the shape that I needed and banged it to the nice dimensions that I needed. And then I sealed it off with aluminum foil, heavy-duty aluminum foil and duct tape. And then I sprayed it with a sealant and a primer, and then the directions that we've been following recommend that you do the innermost layer with, it's called chalkboard paint. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Rust-Oleum chalkboard paint, and I think, I don't remember, I think I got this at Home Depot, Menards, or something for like $3, $4. Anyway, so I sprayed that down, did a couple good layers of it. It's got sawdust and everything that'll get cleaned out first of all, but that's going to, be where the food cooks. I got a nice cast iron Dutch oven coming in from Harbor Freight for $20. Pretty excited about that. Anyway, so long story short, this box is going to sit here, and when we're done, there's going to be this is all going to be sealed in. You won't be able to see this. It's all going to be air insulation, and it's going to be a sheet of plexi over here. And we'll sit it out in the sun, and you should be able to cook a chicken or a turkey in here in about 3-4 hours from like 10 to 2, 11 to 3-ish. So we'll see. So in the meantime, that's how much, that's what we got going so far. So we'll get back here when we get ready for the next step. Just a quick update. We've got the bottom layer of insulation in there. And remember that rectangular piece of 2x4 we had down in the bottom? That's to support the center, because the corners of this are going to be resting on the 4 little corner pieces there, and still allow that air pocket of insulation to retain all that heat. I just put 2 galvanized screws in the very center of this into that 2x4 to keep this really steady and solid in this box. We don't want to drop this thing and have it fall apart. We want this thing to last, And the shine is, I sealed them, and then I went over them again just now with some of that chalkboard paint. Okay, we're getting close here. What I'm doing now is I bought this stuff. It's aluminum tape. As you can see, it looks just like aluminum foil here, but it's very, very, it's made for duct work like duct tape. It's very heavy duty, but it's aluminum, and it's fire resistant, it's heat resistant. It's much, supposed to be more safe than duct tape for this whole dealing. Anyway, so what I'm going to be doing is building a small ridge here from the inner box to the outside. As you can see, we've got the insulation in here packed down snugly, but not too tight. You don't want it to have any, big air pockets there, but we've got it all the way around here. What I'm doing to build myself a little wall to make sure that I do this right, I'm putting a couple of strips of really good duct tape, just a little strips here, so I have something to attach this to. Other than that, I think it would start to sag in the middle, and we don't want that. So, well, I don't anyway. What I'm going to do is just go around here and put my little supports, if you want to call it that, 2 or 3 each side, and then on the corners, and then I will make my ledge all the way around, and we'll come back after that.